What's up, Jrue? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. What's going on with you?
Bro, I really can't tell you how excited I am to have you on my show. Man, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for putting up with all my emails. Just thank you for everything, bro. Jrue, you've been amazing, so thank you.
Well, thanks, man. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Before we start, got to give a huge shout out to the nicest man in the entire world, Coach Chad Forcier, for setting this up.
My
Since
man, Chad. Yeah,
he's been
yeah.
so nice to me since I had him on my show. And I know you guys are close too. Are you sad to see him go to Utah?
You don't even understand. I actually talked to him yesterday, but I got a little surprise for him since we're not on the same team anymore. But man, just being with him over the last few years and him being able to coach me and us just even getting close outside of basketball has been awesome. He's really just made basketball that much better for me and really just enjoying the game a little bit more being with him. So
He is
great having him.
he's a special person. He actually
Yeah.
brought me out. He brought me out to Milwaukee Halloween night. I didn't get a chance to meet you because you were very busy that day. But like I got to come in, watch warm-ups. He was so amazing. No words to describe, coach. So man,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah. How's your summer been, Jrue? It's been good.
It was good, man. It was good. I live in California, so I'm out there in the summertime. I got two kids and my wife, and we're just really trying to relax, work out, get some beach, get some sun, and kind of hang out. But that's what we did. Really, was just hang out and then prepare to come back here to Milwaukee. Well, I'm in Milwaukee now,
Yeah,
as you can see.
I'm jealous. California weather compared to Toronto weather. Dang, bro. Just dang.
Yeah,
Anyway, so you ready to get right into this?
yeah, man. Let's get into it.
So I've talked about this on my podcast before, that when it comes to a winning basketball player, I don't need a type of guy that will score a ton of or like fill up the stat sheet or anything like that. I need a guy that can just doesn't turn the ball over, plays amazing D, and is just efficient from the floor. And in today's game, as far as point guards go, you're up there with Steph Curry and Chris Paul for being the best in business for sure. Do you feel like you don't get the recognition you deserve?
Um, I've gotten that question quite a bit, but I think from my peers, I think from the people I play against, I get it quite a bit. I think even it being validated last year, me being an All Star for the second time in my career, 10 years apart, which is crazy. But I think getting it from my peers, man, it means a lot because they go through the grind with me. They're the ones I'm battling with and against. So to hear it from them is really cool. Would it be cool to hear from the fans too? Yeah, but I think the guys that, like I said, going through the trenches with, it's cool that they recognize game.
Yeah, actually, it's crazy that you're only a two-time All-Star because at your level of skill, like the way you play, you should be so much more than that. Unfortunately, like the fans and everything, they just look at scoring, they don't look at overall impact because you should be there every single year, no doubt.
Well, thanks, man. It's this is a game of entertainment too. This is a game of scoring and scoring a lot of points, so I completely understand. But uh, there were a couple years there. I'm like, man, I probably really should have been a All Star. But again, man, it worked out for me. Got me a ring. I'm I'm sitting happy.
That's actually one of the things I really admire about you. The fact that you're able to like sacrifice your scoring, your stats, whatever it is, just to for team winning. When the game, but then again, when the game's on the line, you got zero fear, bro. You pull up from deep, complete money, confidence, and taking that big shot. It's just incredible. How did you develop this confidence?
I think a part of it is just growing up having good people around me that kind of instill confidence in me. When I'm out there making a mistake, they're tough on me, but they're also very positive. And then actually just taking those shots. I think a lot of the times growing up, sometimes you're afraid to take those big shots. Growing up, I always took them, whether I was going to make or miss. And then it kind of got to the point in the NBA where all those shots that you see, you try to replicate those. So, in workouts in the summertime and workouts during the season, during the year, you try to replicate some of those situational shots and kind of weird situations where you got 3 seconds left on the clock and you need to get a shot up or whatever it may be. Honestly, you just you do your best to replicate those situations, and from there, man, you work on it.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. There are some players that really just step up, like you, in the clutch, playing out of their mind, and there's some players that shy away, and they're not the same. Like aside from you, who do you think's the best player in the clutch in the entire NBA?
Uh, and I played with some great players. I mean, one on my team, Giannis is a beast. I'm not really sure there's too many built like him who has the type of mentality that he has. To really just go out there and take it, to put a full team on his back and go get a win. My other teammate, Chris Middleton, too, has no fear when it comes to taking big shots down the stretch, being able to really go down there and make an impact. My boy, Anthony Davis, that's my guy who's also won a ring. He probably should have won Defensive Player of the Year one or two times here. But I feel like his skill set, the talent that he has, and the way that he plays, he's so tough to me. He has like some of the best skill for a 6'11" dude. I feel like those guys like him. You also have Steph Curry, who like every time I play against him, it's a challenge, bro. It's one of the hardest challenges that I've ever had to partake. But that's fun for me. And then somebody like Kevin Durant. I mean, you got somebody who's 7 feet, can shoot from anywhere, doesn't even really care that you're in his face. If he gets the ball over his head, it's pretty much going in. So those are just a few guys, and you have so many great players in this league that have done so much for the game. But for me personally, have helped me to step up and be like one of the best players that I can be. Another one is Kyrie Irving. Every time I play against him, bro, like it's so crazy because I feel like he's so good with the handle like we've never seen before in basketball. His finishing being 6'1", 6'2", his finishing around the basket at that height is so elite. And I feel like a lot of like smaller guys, even like me, I tried my best to try to finish like Kyrie. So I've definitely tried my best to take things from other people's games, but those guys are just a handful of guys who's they've always just elevated my game.
100%. You just mentioned like a bunch of very dominant players, but you also you
A
have
lot of top 75 players, I know.
you mentioned Giannis too, and I think one of my favorite plays it was in the clutch. I don't remember the exact situation, but I remember it clinched an NBA Finals game. You stole the ball, came up. Chris Paul was guarding you and Giannis on a fast break, and you lobbed it up there. Beautiful pass, but it was crazy high. Giannis got up there and threw down one of the craziest and one alley-oop dunks I've ever seen. It
Yeah,
was quite remarkable. What do you think about that
it
play?
was.
You call it?
I mean, it was definitely one of the highlights of my career. It's definitely one of the craziest things I think I've been a part of. Just the whole situation from how it played out. Like again, even us being down two, us being down 0-2, and then getting back to game five, getting the steal, throwing the lob, and just kind of feeling like we got it. But every time I see that play, it like brings me to tears because I don't think people understand how hard it is to win a championship, how hard it is to even get there in the first place. I think I won a championship in my 12th year. It took me 12 years to get a ring, and luckily I got to the championship in my 12th year. But it like brings me to tears every time I see that play. So I'll never forget it.
Yeah, for sure. Don't worry though. There's another one coming. You know what I'm saying?
There we yeah. Hopefully a couple more.
Of course. Anyway, Drew, so everybody talks about how incredible Jimmy Butler is defensively, especially in the playoffs. And
Mm-hmm.
he really is. He's consistently regarded as one of the best lockdown like defenders in the entire league. Let me ask you this, Drew. Take a guess. How many times do you think Jimmy Butler has made the NBA defensive first team? Take a guess.
Twice.
Zero. He's made it
Really?
0 times. And Drew, you
First team?
made, yeah, first team.
Wow.
You've made the defensive first team 3 times. How much pride does that give you? Like saying like, oh yeah, 3 times, baby, 3 times.
It gives me a lot of pride because I feel like not a lot of people like truly appreciate it. And I'm not saying that some people don't, because I know some people do, but Like defense is hard, bro. Like again, I just named some of the best players in the world, and like you have to defend them night in and night out. Every game, you have somebody that you got to try to battle against, and sometimes like scoring can be a little easier than playing defense. So I like defense has obviously been my calling card for a while, but I take pride in it because it's a challenge, but it's something that I feel like a lot of people don't really put their full effort into. Um, and again, some people just might not have that ability, those capabilities. But man, defense is hard, bro. Fighting over screens, fighting over or under, picking up 94 feet, having to box out, guarding somebody bigger than me. There's just a lot of things to it. So I take a lot of pride in it.
You actually just mentioned that certain players don't put in all their effort into defense. Has it ever gotten like you frustrated when a player on your team, you're out there working your butt off, playing defense, getting deflection and everything, and then there's a player there who's kind of like not putting his full effort in? Like, come on.
That is frustrating, but I feel like that's even the same thing on offense. That's just basketball in general. I feel like because this is a team sport, it's not just about you. You know, you have to lock arms and be on the same page as the person next to you. So if I'm giving my all, I really do expect the next person to give it their all too, even if they might not be as good at something as I am, or vice versa. That's why we're a team, and pieces we cover for each other. But man, effort sometimes I'm like, effort is something that you can control. So just control your effort, and we'll be good from there.
100%. I know how you feel. Anyway, so I have a question for you now. I know you had a tough like first round exit last year, but Coach Bud, in my opinion, is one of like the best coaches in the league. Were you surprised to see him like not be with the team anymore?
Yeah, and it's just again, since I got to the Bucks, Bud was the coach. So not having him here is a bit weird. And even us talking about Chad earlier, just him like not having his presence around the gym and stuff is a bit weird. But this is the league, and this is the name of the game, really. You got to win. You got to win, or you go home. So that's kind of what our plan is now: is to try to win another one. And even though I'm going to miss the coaching staff and what goes on there, I've had, I mean, 6 or 7 coaches in the NBA. So I know that everybody wants the opportunity to try to win, and that's kind of my goal.
For sure. Anyway, so the big news of the offseason has been Damian Lillard like potentially leaving Portland. Yeah, there's heavy rumors about him going to Miami or all these different places, but just think for a second. How incredible would it be in like a fantasy world for you to reunite with your Team USA teammate? You guys would be scarily good together. How great of a fit of a backcourt do you think you with Damian is?
I think it would be insane. Dame's one of my favorite players to watch. He's electrifying. The way that he can score the ball, the way that he carries his team, the way that he leads his team, has always been something that I admired. And again, another person that I could add to the list on being a challenge every time I go up against him. I just feel like there's so many guys in this league that take on the challenge, even if I'm playing defense. They take on that challenge to uh, I mean, really try to go at me and do that. And I do the same challenge with them. And Dame's always been one of those people who just never backs down to anybody. So if I could play with Dame, man, that'd be that. I think that would be cool. Even just being like more of a pass first point guard and him being more of a score first point guard, I feel like we fit pretty well.
Best backcourt ever of all time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so I know you're probably not going to want to say anything about this, and I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but
Put me on the spot, bro.
I'm going to shoot my shot like I'm Jrue Holiday, okay?
What's up, man?
When I saw James Harden speak out against Daryl Morey in China, I thought, like, what on earth is this guy doing? It just
Mm-hmm.
seems so wrong, disrespectful to me. Like, can you explain this to me? Because it's like I'm not a player and everything, and I know players have like a certain brotherhood, like you guys
Mm-hmm.
are all connected, you stand up for each other. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
do you understand in any like sort of way, like where he's coming from?
I do. I feel like, especially somebody like James, who's the cornerstone of a team, who's top 75 in the league, and um, one of the best players. Actually, he changed parts of the game. Um, I guess, in my opinion or my understanding, was they had an agreement, and somebody went back on the agreement. I don't think that you have to be a player. You can be somebody at your school. It can be your best friend. It can be your parents, or it could be a GM. Sometimes when you go back on your word, it gets hard to trust that person. And if you want to win, you do have to have some form of trust. And I do think sometimes it's hard when like your best player gets upset kind of in that way, and y'all really don't align or see eye to eye. But I think at the end of the day, everybody has their own truth. Um, just like Daryl Morey might have his, James has his, and he spoke out on it. And at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, I see that. Interesting. Anyway, I want to talk to you because, like, if you look in the past couple of years, past 5 years, the top two teams in the East, you see, obviously, your Milwaukee Bucks, who have been there year after year, but then you also see the Boston Celtics, who are right up there with you guys.
Yeah.
And they made some huge news this offseason. Obviously, they signed Jaylen Brown to this huge, massive extension, and they traded away Marcus Smart and Grant Williams, but picked up Kristaps Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting to see what they run with that front court of Porzingis, Rob Will, and Horford. But like that's a huge front court and everything. But I'm really questioning like giving up both Marcus Smart and Grant Williams. What do you think about this trade? Do you think they gave up too much?
Um, you know, I feel like I used to try to give my opinion on if it was too much or not, but there'd be times where I thought that there was a trade that was too much, and it ended up working out. Um, Again, Kristaps Porzingis at one point was top 10 players in the league. He definitely has the ability. He has, especially the scoring capabilities. He's 7 feet. He's pretty good at protecting the paint and blocking shots. So it's definitely, again, it definitely could be possible that it's like an equal trade. But Marcus Smart and Grant Williams are one of the players that like I would love to play with because of their intensity on defense, how they take that pride, and even though sometimes it could be a bit dramatic, they still get under your skin and muck up the game. But at the same time, they look like glue guys. They look like guys that a team could rally around and be able to really go deep into the playoffs and make runs with. But so again, maybe I'm just a little biased because I played against them in the playoffs a couple of times, and once we lost. But that's no discredit to Kristaps Porzingis, who is a great player in himself.
100%. When I saw that, I was just like, wow, they're giving up two great character guys who can both play D, both shoot the ball. I don't know. I was very
Yeah, but
skeptical
think of
about it.
Memphis lost one defensive player and got two.
Yeah,
So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting year for sure.
100%. Anyway, Jrue, thank you so much for doing this today, coming on my show, Jake's Takes. Did you enjoy your time with me today?
Yeah, man, it was awesome. We might have to get back on here one time.
That
Maybe
would be
during this.
amazing. Thank
All
you
right,
so
bro.
much.
Well, hey, man, have fun this year in school. Hopefully, I get to see you this season. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you last time, but I would love to meet you in person, bro.